So you're constantly on Miguel Urate's radar, obviously. You know, he sees, you know, a real young Mike Brown at hook and shoot and kind of carries you to the AFC. And now Miguel's doing big things with BoDog, which is my introduction to Miguel as well, that in Abu Dhabi, ADCC. And you would fight a guy who you'd mentioned earlier, Yves Edwards, on December 16, 2006, at 155 pounds again.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going up and down, up and down. And I was kind of surprised, you know, to see you fight that heavy again.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really my weight, but it was like, it was a good money offer. It was like, I think it was 15,000.
Oh, look at
which was
Miguel coming through for you now.
Man, dude, you can't be holding that hook and shoot stuff against him. He's getting
$50.
No, this is by far the biggest payday of my life. So,
well, let me tell you, the behind the scenes, I actually budgeted $14,950 for that fight, and I gave the extra $50 out of my own pocket, so we're clear.
All right, Steven.
But so Yves Edwards, now, Chris, Yves is impossible to take down. We've seen this guy fight, you know, a million times. And then to fight him in a ring, it makes it even like that even harder to do. And they use Edwards fight. My God, it's like every single thing with him is a fight. It's a struggle. Like if I just want to move my foot over here, it's a struggle. You know, you want to go for like just a move his arm over, and it's just your fight. Yves Edwards, you're in a fight every single movement against him. And was that your recollection of that bout as well?
I mean, he was. I mean, I turned the fight down with him before because I knew he was a tough matchup for me, you know. Mm-hmm. But I think at this time now, my skill set being at ATT long enough where I think I was now really ready for these world-class guys. I wasn't sure if I was going to win, but I was like, I think I'm ready to fight these guys now. And the fight, yeah, I mean, it wasn't an exciting fight. It's kind of a boring fight, you know, like I'm trying to avoid his strikes, trying to get him down. But I looked up to Yves a lot, and I was really pumped to get the nod in that fight. You know, it wasn't easy. You know, I remember being worried about his you know, head kicks, and he was a very well-rounded guy, a bit ahead of his time.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what we see for the first time, I mean, maybe it's happened before, but I saw Brad Pickett in your corner, and that's a reoccurring theme for you.
Yeah, I mean, he was there maybe for one of the AFCs, but he was a close friend of mine. I was living in a fighter house at American Top Team where, you know, I was living for free for a while, but you never know who's going to be living with you, you know. And one day they dropped this guy off at my door like, hey, this guy's from England. He'll be staying here for 3 months. You know, get to know him. And he became one of my best friends. And even when I moved out and I got a place, he always stayed at my house every time he came to America. He really, really close friend. You know, definitely my closest friend. You know, in the sport of fighting.
Right.
Yeah, he lived with me for years. Really good dude.
Cool. Now that Russia fight, though, because the fight with Yves Edwards was in Russia, so
yeah,
that's a lot of fun. And this was now get this is BoDog spending, you know, like Dana White said, another billionaire wanted to throw his money away. So we rented a 20,000 seat arena and hung giant photography of like a room, like in a palace. Nobody watched, about 300 people around the ring just for filming purposes. Mike, you remember warming up in that building with the outside and then coming inside? What was all that?
I don't remember the warm-up. I remember it being really weird. I remember it being, we were there a long time, like 10 days. It was a lot of production.
Jeez.
There was, I remember they had like the army tank for the intro. The army tank gets stuck in the mud. Like, I remember they spent a lot of money on production.
Wow.
Crazy money.
Yeah, the intro was all the fighters out in a forest, and like they're being like they had new people in the Russian army, so they got real Russian tanks to chase them down. And at the end, Calvin Ayre pops out and says, "Welcome to BoDog, boys." And that, you know, again, like I said, a billionaire spending his money unwisely.
That was the intro, yeah.
You know, wasn't there like a vote for the most popular fighter on that event as well that you had won?
Yeah, this was really big for me. So before this, I made the biggest payday of my life was Genki. I made 2,000. 2-2 in the UFC, and I lost. I made 2.
Yeah.
And in the AFC, a couple times I made 1-1. So I made $2,000 was my biggest payday. And now I made 15,000 for Yves. And then they had a vote for your favorite fighter thing. And I hit that, and that's 50,000. So now I made 65
so how
grand.
did you organize that?
50.
How did you organize that? Because there had to been, I mean, you're a pretty like mellow guy. To me, you seem like a guy that like you're a big ticket seller, but you're not the guy going, I need you to buy tickets. I need you to buy tickets. You just kind of have people show up, you know?
No, this was, I definitely, when it was $50,000, I was promoting this one. I'm like, I need to help you guys, like let everybody know, hey, vote for me on this thing because I want to do the money, It was, I was definitely telling everybody to do it.
That's cool. Did you get a hand from Pickett? Because interestingly, BoDog handed out that award a couple of times. I think Pickett won one for.
He did.
And the other winner was another guy who's not doing too bad on social media nowadays. A guy named Chael Sonnen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard of him.